guys, welcome to another episode of the Ali Show, and today we have another special guest, Mr. Tim Provise from the Provise Project and also bakery runs.
Yeah, that's
Anyway, Tim, how are you, brother?
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
How's your day?
Yeah, I just got off two bakeries filming, so
Two episodes in one day. That's pretty full on.
We've done three once, and that was hard. But I mean, like it's the tricks of the trade. You just don't eat the full pie.
Yeah,
you just take 2 bites. You're like, this is a great pie.
I was gonna say that's a lot of pies for one day, brother. And usually when how many pies like do you guys test like? 1, 2, or
so we
doesn't
do
matter?
No, we do the steak and cheese because that's the staple.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have any bakery. If their steak and cheese is trash, the rest of it's going to be pretty trash.
Yeah,
that's
a marker.
That is.
You can kind of gauge.
If that's good, then things and then we let the guests choose the next pie.
Yeah,
and then we do something sweet. So like those 3 things, but. Yeah,
anyway,
at the start when I first did it, I used to eat all the pies like, yeah, I'm the man, and then fucking
after a while you kind of realize, yeah, not the best idea.
Start sweating like freaking grease, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Ooh, anyway, before we get too far into that, we'll get to that in a second. But anyway, for some of our guests who might not know who you are, could you give us a brief introduction about yourself, brother?
Yeah, so my name's Tim Provise. That's obviously not my real name. I have another name, but I keep it. I'm Spider-Man. You know, when I'm Peter Parker during the day with my normal name. But yeah, I was a Twitch streamer. Like I streamed on Twitch for 3 years, and then I switched it up and started podcasting. I do a podcast three nights a week called the Provise Project. It's all done live over Twitch and other social media outlets. And then I do a online series called The Bakery Run. And yeah, I'm just a creative dude that just, bro, like I'm like an ideas guy. Like I'm an ideas guy that I'll think of something cool. I'll find the right people and I'll go after it. And that's
execute.
Yeah, I didn't used to be. I used to be the guy that, bro, it would be mean if we did it, and then I would never follow it up. And there's millions of those people out there. And then, just changing mindset and getting into executing.
100%, man. That's the way to go. So I just want to ask, start back to first one was Twitch streaming.
Yeah.
So I'm not too familiar with the whole Twitch streaming and all that. So is that for gaming or is it for anything? Or
it's for anything, but mainly it's used for gaming. You get on there, your little camera is down the bottom, and you play games, and people come in and you build a community around it. It's a very niche kind of I want to say market, I suppose. But it's live streamed, so you're there. Your content is extremely short content, like not short in terms of, time wise, but short, like if you're there, that's when you can enjoy it. You can go back and have a look at the video, but like later on, but man, who's going to sit through 5 hours of videos?
It's basically like they're kind of watching you do your thing, whatever it might be, whether you're playing games or like the other one would be the brother, the carver.
Oh, Brox?
Brox, yes. Yeah. And so he does his carving. And well, I want to ask him a little bit about his story later on that you told me, which was quite interesting as well. I'll get to that in a second. So you started the whole Twitch streaming and all that. And when did you understand you started your podcast, the Provise Project, about 10 or so months ago? Was it about a year?
I started after during lockdown. So
the first lockdown.
Yeah, the first one. So what's it? 6 months ago.
What was the big reasons behind it?
Oh, like I had these skills that I developed from Twitch in terms of like live streaming things, and I'm always talking to people when I live streamed anyway. But I was just getting stale. I was getting bored of it, and then I thought, you know what? Let's just get some of my friends in and I'll chat with them. And I was really just getting bored of like the people in my house, to be honest. I was getting sick of the missus, bro. I was like, this lady's always telling me to do stuff all the time. And then I'd be like, hey, I'm just going to go and things. So I would, so I started off just interviewing my friends. I wanted to make a podcast for people on Twitch, about people on Twitch, just to get people on, and then it just steamrolled. Like, it really just snowballed.
Just to kind of get, the other thing as well, like on online live streaming platforms like that, usually it's very hard for you to get to know the person unless you know them outside of Twitch. you know, but like, well, that's like a perfect way to get to know each other, who like you're playing with and all that sort of stuff.
I have mods and I have people that would always come in. So I would say, hey, like, let's get on a Zoom call. We're going to talk about X, Y, Z. And then that's how it all started. And that lasted for about 14, 15 episodes. And then, then I was just like, okay, who else can I get on? And I was very lucky that I had a friendship with Donnie. He was on Amnesia Mystic. I used to drink with him quite a lot. And then I said to him, bro, like, jump on my podcast, man. And then that happened. And then, it kind of snowballed from there. So, and now it's a completely different beast than what it was.
Yeah, I used to have this this thing that, like, you know, shit, who's the next guest I'm gonna get on? Yeah. Like, but then after a while, you start to realize, like, man, does it, like, it'll come, you know, like, and the best part about like doing podcasts and all that is usually the people who you have on will recommend someone else to be on, or like just people who listen in and they'll tell you, hey, you know, why don't you get this guy or that guy or whatever? And it's like, and you obviously will find out, and this is the other thing as well. You have people who shoot out a lot of names.
Oh,
right. And you know, sometimes you got to like do a little bit of research on these names as well. And I haven't really had people who I've like struggled, you know,
to get,
not to get, but to have a conversation with.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, you know, some of the people that they recommended, like, they're good fellas, but can they have a conversation? Like, you know, can they hold a conversation?
You got to be selective. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, selective. You know, as much as they, you know, obviously they're good fellas, they got good achievements and all that. Like, you still got to have that in consideration. Because at the end of the day, it is a podcast, bro. Like, if you can't talk,
then like, well, what are we gonna do? Like, what are we gonna do here? Just stare at each other for like 45 minutes?
Exactly, man. That's the funny one.
I mean, like, it's really weird. Like, you do learn about yourself when you do this kind of stuff too, because you're learning around what kind of skill you has as firstly a conversationalist, but also as like an entertainer. Like, you have to keep people entertained as you go. And for me, like, I've always been that smart mouth kid from South Auckland. Like, I was that dude from the minute I went to school to the minute that I came here. Like, I've always been that guy, and you know, I could talk my way in and out of anything I needed to, and that was the conversationalist side of things. And then the entertainment side of things came from Twitch, like 2 years of having to keep people's attention and keep them in the chat so they don't leave, you know, that kind of thing. So it's just the amalgamation of those two things, and it kind of helps.
Man, that's pretty cool. So you've had, like, I went to have a look at, you know, I've listened and you know, to like quite a bit of your content on your podcast as well, and you have a lot of guests, man. No doubt. It's and I think people don't really understand the amount of work that it takes to like get it all together, put it on, and then put it online. It's not as easy as it sounds. What's the running number right now? What are you at for your podcast?
I'm at 90, I think I am. 90.
Wow.
So I mean, three guests a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 o'clock. Organizing the guests, making sure they're guests that, you know, could bring people in, I suppose. But right now I'm just kind of like, I've done that. You know, now it's kind of time to just get really interesting people on, people that can, like you said, hold a conversation. But I mean, it all started from, you know, me getting my mates on, to Donnie, who's from Amnesia Mystic, and then somebody just, and there's times in like that kind of career thing that you're like, you know, well, podcasting career for me, that I'm kind of like, where was the bit that went, holy shit, like I kind of may have cracked it here, and that was when I got John Campbell on. So after I got John Campbell on, things just went, like, you know, I was on all these news, these news websites and things like that, because I talked to John Campbell like somebody from the hood would talk to John Campbell, and he appreciated that more than anything.
It's real.
Yeah,
it's real. You know, like instead of making it like a TV interview.
And he's had millions of those in his lifetime.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think you have like your own little twists of how you do. So I've watched, you know, I've listened to a few of your different podcasts, and like you have your own style.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool about this. And I feel like why I want to listen to, like, I want to listen to this episode or that episode. You know? Like you have a certain way of doing that, and like You know, I like how you research a lot of stuff on all your guests and you shoot them with questions like, how do you know that?
Well, that's the thing. It's like when I do that, bro, and it's part of my shtick, right? Like they come on the podcast, and a lot of people don't do their research, and that's why I'm like, cool, like let's fuck with them then. So like you talk to me, and it's like a hood dude. Like like I asked John Campbell things around like tagging and have you ever tagged John, or like stuff that nobody's asked him before. Have you ever had a pie sandwich? Like stuff like that, right? And he's cool. And then I switch it on him, and then I'll ask him how he lost I think I asked him how he lost the speech finals in year 11 at Wellington College in 1963 or 1968, and he was just stumped, like, how the fuck do you know that? Like, and I'm just sitting there like a pig in mud, bro, just rolling around in it. But like that's the thing, that's the illusion. The illusion is, and I'm kind of breaking stereotype, because the stereotype of talking to someone from the hood that sounds like me, and then all of a sudden switching it up and being like, holy, like this guy actually has done a lot more research than somebody else has. But yeah, that's my little.
Then you think,
switch it.
You mentioned a lot about like growing up in the South, bro. I personally, haven't grown up in like Auckland. So, what does growing up in the South like? What are some of the experiences you had, or what is it like, bro?
So like, I live in Cleveland. I still live in Cleveland. You know what though? Like, it's probably like it's easy for me to go, yeah, bro, I'm from the streets, I'm from the hood and stuff. But I know that in the world, there's way worse places than Cleveland. But I suppose that's part of my thing as well. Is I like to bring the hood up with me. You know what? It's not as bad as people think. It's probably not as bad as I say it is either. But it's just a vibe, man. Like people in South Auckland just all get along, and like it's funny because Pacific Islanders have this village mentality of helping each other and helping everybody else, and so do Maoris. I'm half Maori, so like I get it. Like I'm like, oh yeah, that's how, like instinctually, like that's how I react to things of helping others and the village mentality, but. There's some things you see and you're like, what the fuck? Like, like growing up, especially in high school, man, you're like, what the heck? I shouldn't have seen that. Like, but that's what made me it's funny. Like I look back to now and I just think that's what kind of makes me unique, is that I know what all these things are, and I have relative knowledge of a lot of things that go on in the hood and little like jargon that I can use. And people go, oh, okay, he knows. And then there's the other people that don't know. Go, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, what the heck is a bulby? Like, like those kind of things. Yeah. But I love it, bro. I love South Auckland. It's the best.
I mean, like I understand it's like the whole the idea that people give will be like, that's the ghetto parts of town. It's like rough part of town. You don't want to be there. Like, like. But like, you still have a lot of mates who live there, and I'm like, the people that come out of there, like they're good fellas as well.
They're good people, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it's interesting as well. Like you have to see who is the ones who are telling you this stuff, and I'm like, at the end of the day, like, I don't care,
I mean, you're a product of your environment.
Exactly.
And sometimes there's bad people everywhere. Like, like there's bad people. There's bad people in Penrose and Ponsonby, bro. Like. But it's like because the media portrays, and it's not all media, I get that, but the media portrays it as, oh, don't go over there, that's the dark side. That's, like on The Lion King, Simba, don't go to the dark, that's the elephant graveyard. You know that bit?
Stay on this side.
But, like, that's the thing, is like the media are telling us. And the only reason that we have little glimmers of this, like criminal activity and things like that, it's just poverty. Like, people are hungry, man. Like there's people, and I was a child of that. Like my mum raised me solo, and she had to work 2 jobs, and I was at home by myself. And like there's sometimes like I went to school with no lunch. Like, but there's kids that do that every single day. Like they go to school, no lunch, can't function, and then the media's out here going, there's bloody Samoans and Tongans and blah blah blah. But it's not that. It's the I mean, systematically, South Auckland has always been disadvantaged, And not just, and you know what, not just South Auckland either. West Auckland has the hood, you know, even North Shore has the hood. You know, it's nothing, even Central, like, you know, back in the day. But yeah, it really comes down to poverty and not just food poverty, just, you know, emotional, like just draining people emotionally by, you know, mum and dad having to work 2 jobs or.
Yeah. But the other one I wanted to ask, like, so obviously you're saying you were half Maori, yeah, and was that ever like, you know, you being more of you look like a white guy, you know, like, was that a problem when you were growing up in the South?
It's a problem every day, like straight up to this day, like to this day, to this day.
We'll make a soundbite out of that.
To this day, man. Nah, you know what? Like I've been like told, you know, from I've heard racism firsthand. Like I've been behind those doors of, you know, people talking smack about, you know, Māori and Pacifica, and yeah, but with my skin being white and but my mana being brown, you know, there is that half thing. Like there is half you, half this, half that. But for me, bro, I'm a Māori. Like that's me. Like yeah, and it's cool to see people like Kai and
Shane.
And Shane just fucking ripping it. Because I see dudes like that, and I'm like, yo, like I get that shit. Like, you know, and they probably got that shit too. I always remember I stood up and did a mihi, which is, you know, like when you're at the marae, a male speaks, and I did a mihi at university, and you know, like I've been taught like that. I could, you know, I was in kohanga and things like that, so I would get up at a marae and speak, and then I turned around to look at my cohort that were at uni with me, and they were looking at me like, what the like, hey, like, wait a minute, we thought you were white, like for 3 years. And I'm just like, bro, like that's pretty shit. Like you shouldn't think that then, but yeah.
Never really did ask.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, sheesh, I'm cool with it though. Like I've gotten out of certain situations being white. Like I've been like, oh, I didn't tag that fence officer. Wasn't me. It was my mates, but they've taken off, and you know, like stuff like that. But yeah.
A bit of an advantage there.
It is, and it does give people a bit of a fright. When the minute that I speak and I'm like hearty, and they go, oh sheesh, like, you know, that was the first thing Joseph Parker said to me when I went to go and do the bakery run with him. Like I only text him, like I only message him, hey, we're here, like bro, it'd be great if you can come through. And I went up to him, I go, yeah, brother, mean, fuck, you're the man. And he looked me dead in the eye and he goes, are you a Māori, do you know? I was like, yeah, I am. What? Yeah. So and
hey, but you did the bakery runs with Joseph Parker. You haven't done with the King of the Pies, bro, Junior Farr.
Bro, I asked him, bro. if you're watching this, Junior, you can back me up. I asked you, and you said, "Oh, sorry, bro, I'm training. We can do it afterwards." So, I would love to get Junior Farr. Here's a funny story.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I coach basketball, and I've coached basketball for years. I was coaching basketball at Papakura High School when he was there, right? He came to the trials and dunked it hard. And I go, he's in the team. Sweet. I had all of his mates in. And I said, bro, he's in the team, dude. We need a big dude. I put his name down. Fucking never came to training, dude. He showed up to a game, bro. And I was like, gee, we can't play. You never been in training. He goes, oh, sorry, coach. I was boxing. And I was like, stop boxing, man. You can be a basketball player.
He did say about that, like, you know, when he was back in school, or maybe it might have been on camera or off camera, but like he was into basketball, you know, he always wanted to do it, but like boxing was like his thing with his dad, and his dad really pushed him to, so that he didn't go that other route.
He would have killed it too if he did. Yeah, he was a big unit. And like so all of the dudes that were with him, like there was a dude called Dennis, and he was a New Zealand player. There was like all these New Zealand reps. They had a great team. We were awesome that year. And he would have put us over the top. We'd be national champs.
Yeah, that hiding that boy even at that age was crazy, bro. I was like,
he's such a nice dude, though.
I think Eugene would reference it as, you know, he's built like a fridge, bro. He's built like a fridge. But yeah, he, man, definitely, I'll have a word with him and let him know that.
Tell him I'm coming for him.
I'll remind him.
I would love it. That's why we're saving Callum's Bakery. There's a place called Callum's Bakery in Papakura. And he's been, I'm assuming He knows
that'll be his spot.
So we haven't done that yet. We were supposed to do it today, and I said, nah, we'll wait till Junior's ready.
That's a good idea. Junior, we'll reserve that for you.
Gotcha, Junior.
I'll remind him again. But anyway, back into the podcast, brother. So, what would you say some of the biggest challenges so far you've had,
I think
podcasts?
Probably for me is staying consistent. Like, I think that's for every podcaster, to be honest. Like, if that's not your biggest, if you want to do podcasts and your biggest issue isn't that voice in the back of your head going, nah, don't worry, man. The viewers won't care. Like, if you take a week off, all good. Like, that's probably the biggest challenge is just staying consistent. And
it's hard, bro.
I know, bro. It's hard. I know. And for me, doing it three nights a week, it's been, it's challenging because, getting these famous people, semi-famous people or famous people on, they have schedules and I can't just go, yeah, bro, we can only do it Monday and Wednesday and Friday.
You kind of have to accommodate to different timings as well.
But I've had to switch it too, and who my audience is. Like, my audience used to be for the people that were watching it live, because I wanted to make sure that they could see it, right? And then now it's switched to, okay, well, now I want to make a better product that you can pick up and listen to on Spotify now, as opposed to Twitch. So my mind had to switch a little bit. So yeah, and I think just expectations, like managing them, and I mean, everyone expects me to get these big guests on, but it's not as easy as people think. Like, I've had we've contacted Jacinda and she's got back to us, and oh yeah, we'll do it after this, and then I've got to follow that up, and then and then things like just trying to find ways to get in front of people to ask,
Yeah, so far I haven't had maybe one or two, you have a little bit of could you contact my, my this guy, and they'll sort it out for me. I was like,
nah, man.
You know what I mean? And I can be on the ball, but then what annoys me is when you direct me to someone to sort, the appointments for you, and then this person takes forever to reply, and I'm like, yo.
Wait till you get to the point, bro, when you're like, yeah, bro, let's do it. And then and they'll get back to you and they'll go, yep, I'm keen, man. Give me a date. And then you give them dates and they never get back to you. I'm like, fuck, man, you asked me to get you a date, man.
So far, personally, I haven't had someone who's ghosted you and then just went quiet. But yeah, I think maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm very selective on the people who, I ask to come on. So I would have known this person somewhat, or consumed a bit of their content, know who they are, the type of person they are. Because I feel I feel like that's quite important, I don't want to have just any, any old fella, it's I feel like it kind of, it's good to have people from different backgrounds and different extremes and that sort of stuff. But in a way, it's a bit like your brand as well. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And your niche, right? You want to stay in and out of your niche. And yeah, I get that totally. That's the thing is I'm really lucky that I don't want to say lucky, but I just don't have a niche. I just want to get people on to hear their stories but
it doesn't matter.
And I think that comes from me just being like that dude that can talk himself in and out of stuff, and just relatability. I think that's probably my superpower too, is that I'm able to be relatable with somebody straight off the bat, as opposed to taking 15 minutes to get to know them and suss them out. Yeah. But yeah.
I think that's the one. Even for us, when we first met, we just connected, bro.
Yeah. Because I remember you followed me, bro, and I was like, bro, I know you, G. I've been following you a little bit, because I do. You got to keep your eyes on who's coming up and how can we help each other.
That's it, bro. Got to stay connected, man.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, right?
And what I was saying is, to a few fellas, I've had some people who have very negative views, bro. They're like, oh, this guy, I'm like, and one of the other ones was having, one of the common ones I hear is oh, but that guy has already had that guy on. Why would you want?
Oh, yeah.
Bro, hey, you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video.
You will get people that are like, nah, yeah, because you were saying just before, oh yeah, you can't get that guy on because you got this guy on. How does that work?
Yeah, to me it doesn't matter, because you and I might have completely different questions, man. We might want to ask different things, and some people like to hear this thing, some people like to hear that. So it fucking doesn't matter. Like, just
that's a silly. Whoever said that is fucking stupid. Like, there's no way. And that's the thing is like, this is why I reckon podcast and video content rules over everything, bro. Is because you're never going to get this. You might get the same answer, but it might be a little bit different.
Exactly.
And when I'm researching people, like let's use Oscar. He was my last one. Oscar Kitely. He created Brotown. He's, like a comedian. He's been on TV and Sione's Win and everything like that. So my thought process is I'll go through and see what podcasts they've done and I'll listen to them and, I'll speed through it, listen to it, and then just write down the same answers he said and then kind of like alley-oop it, man. Like I'll alley-oop to a story so we can go, oh, yeah, bro. Oh, yeah, that was mine. Like, as opposed to the question, oh, so how was Brotown created? I can say, man, what kind of drugs were you on when you created Brotown? It's the same question, but it's like flipped over. Yeah, exactly. And then he goes, bro, we were on some hard stuff. Like, and then, there's no one way. There's more than one way to ask a question. Man.
Did you watch the one that Oscar did with Junior? No. They were.
Oh, I saw like an ad.
I tried to find the actual full interview, but I think it was on TV.
It was a COVID ad, wasn't it? Was it COVID?
No, the one before that. He actually went on an interview, or something about Junior used to train with his cousin or something, and then it was quite funny. But it was something like his cousin just didn't turn up for the.
Well, that's funny because he never showed up to my goddamn basketball tournament. What the hell, Junior Far? Sheesh. Yeah, you forgot about me, didn't you, Junior? You still forget. I tried to add you on Instagram. You're like, whatever, fool. Oh. Junior, I'm out for you, bro.
Remind him, man.
February 27th. Nah. I'm coming for you, boy.
February 27th, bro. What do you reckon? Honest opinion. Who do you got? What do you think?
Bro, I hope that Junior shows up because he didn't show up to their basketball training there one time. And I don't know, man. Maybe if basketball training's on the 27th, I'm going to go with Joseph Parker. Listen, I've spent time with Joseph Parker and not in the gym. And I love Joe. He's a cool dude, man. Like, he's such a good dude. And but it's hard for me because they're both from South Auckland, bro. So I'm like, the hood's winning. Like, that's
exactly
in my head. Yeah.
And it's not, and I think like it's nothing personal, brother. It's just that's how boxing is.
But you can see it in both of them. They respect each other enough to go like, bro, why I don't talk smack, you don't talk smack. Exactly. Let's just get our job done, and then whatever happens. And it's the managers.
And what is good is like,
the promoters.
They keep it very respectful.
Yeah.
And I think that's going in the right direction, bro. Because like, you see a lot of stuff like in the, maybe in international boxing or in the UFC or whatever, and just everybody's just talking smack, getting in each other's faces and all that sort of crap. And then you look at these two huge guys now at their press conference, like they're real respectful. They're like standing next to each other, real respectful, like. You don't have to talk smack, but
when I had Joe on the podcast, I asked him. I said, like, do you think that Junior's ready? And he said, yeah, I do. I think he is ready. Mm-hmm. Like, this is a great opportunity for him. This is a great opportunity for me. But whatever happens, happens. And I was just like, bro, like, so in my head, I was like, okay, let's set him up. Let's try and get some like hearty, I was like, let's set up Joe and let's get him to sort see if we can get him, to talk smack. And no, he didn't. He took the high ground like he always does because he's awesome like that.
That's just how he is, eh?
Yeah, and I didn't expect him to. I was just like, I mean, it's a passing comment. Like, do you think that the bro's ready? And he was like, yeah, nah, he's ready, bro. Like,
do you follow up much with boxing or?
Not really boxing. MMA I do. MMA I'm a big fan of. But boxing a little bits here and there. But yeah, mainly MMA. That's my jam.
But okay, so the fight prediction. What do you got for Joseph and Junior? What do you reckon? What's your prediction?
I reckon
people are going to be betting on you.
I know. Well, I'm in like the home of Junior right now. Junior Far. Okay,
it doesn't matter.
My prediction was, if I look back at past things that I know, I'm actually hoping that he shows up on the 27th because he never showed up to the basketball tournament. I'm talking to you, Junior. No, I think it's going to be a good thing. I hope it goes the distance.
So full we can 12 see rounds? You want a full 12 rounds?
Yeah, I'd love to see that and see who's got the, see who really has the motor, you know. But yeah, Junior, you know, I haven't seen a lot of Junior, but I've seen a lot of Joe. And yeah, I have to go Joseph Parker. Just because decision, Joseph Parker. Ooh. My man, everyone in at Burger King gets free Whoppers. Free Whoppers, guys, if he wins.
Which Burger King, bro? They've been queuing up, man.
Because that's what happened in the last fight, right? If he won, everybody got to go to Burger King and get a free Whopper, and he did. And I was there, man. Papakura, shout outs.
Hey, that's the one. Oh, but you know, so you're saying you're a fan of MMA as well,
bro. I've been a fan of MMA for ages, bro. Like we're talking fucking Tito Ortiz. That was when I first got into it, bro.
That was right in the beginning.
That was Tito versus Randy Couture versus Chuck. That's when I first fell in love with it, bro. I was working at a spot in Cave Road, bro, and it's like a gaming spot.
Ooh, yeah.
And they would run tournaments for the UFC game on the Xbox, and I would fucking kill everybody. And that's how I got to know who everyone was. And then that introduced me to the Tough series. And then I got into that, and I've watched every single Ultimate Fighter since it came out. And then that got me into, you know, because it's the Tough thing is a real cool, like the Ultimate Fighter is cool to watch and then go, oh, sweet. Like, you know, fuck, I can watch them fight now. And then that's the pay-per-views, and then you get into it. Yeah.
Who would you say is like your, let's say, top 3 fighters in the UFC right now? Any weight category.
Oh, okay, well, Izzy is the number one. Izzy, holla at me, brother. Hey. Izzy is, for me, I'm a huge fan of Israel. Adesanya. I love him, bro. I think every single interview, you know, like, so I set up these little files, right? Both in my head and on my computer, but mostly in my head of things that if I ever get to interview those people, that's I know exactly what I have, man. My Izzy file on my computer is huge.
It's loaded right now.
It's loaded, all these little clips, and I'm like, okay, you talked about that, you know, and I'm learning how to say his full name, bro, because I know it's not Israel Adesanya. It's like huge, so I'm like practicing every once a week. I'm like practicing it. So when he comes on my potty, I'll be like, boom, I got you, and then he'll be like, yeah, that's my G right there.
What? How far have you got now?
Not very far at all. I just started last week. But no, Izzy would be my number one. I'll tell you who I like, bro. I like Holloway, bro. That's my G. I like how he's like a Māori. He's like a Hawaiian Māori, G.
But he has the Islander, you know, Islander style. So.
Yeah, but like when he talks, I'm like, yeah, I get down with that dude. And oh man, who else could I? I'd probably go Conor, bro. I do like me some Conor. I just like how fucking confident he is. Like, and that's the same with Izzy. He just has this aura of confidence, and you have to, I suppose, but it's like it's like Super Saiyan 4, bro. Like his confidence level. He's like, everybody else is just normal Saiyan, and Izzy is just like fucking beaming, geez.
They've just got to
blue hair and everything, bro.
Very different level.
Yeah.
You know, and
well, I think with Izzy, bro, it's just like everybody's. It's almost like seeing something, like especially in New Zealand, it's like seeing the moa. Like it's it's almost like you're going down the road and you just see a moa. You know what a moa is, right?
What is that?
A moa is like a fucking bird that's extinct, bro. So we had these things called moas, bro, in New Zealand, right? And they were like 8 foot tall, bro. Huge, bro.
Are you serious?
Fuck, I'm telling you, G. Bro, I'm actually surprised you do not know what a moa is.
Bro, that's huge, bro.
I gotta teach you. So a moa, and then all the Māoris ate the moas. Like, not just the Māoris, but we had these haste eagles, bro. Okay. They used to come down, swoop in, and these motherfuckers were huge too, and eat all these moas up, bro. We were the only place in New Zealand to have moas, and they all think. But he's like that, bro. He's so rare, and he just walks around, and you just see him, and you're just like, fuck, bro, like. This dude knows exactly who he is as a person. I saw him at King of the Ring one time, bro. And I was just sitting there, bro. He was just giving VIP like passes out to little kids, bro, just to come back. I'm like, bro, like, see, this is the kind of shit that we don't see. And he doesn't want people to see that shit. But yeah, bro, like, anyway. Yeah, I can go on and on about Izzy, bro.
Oh, it's all right, bro. We can talk, bro. We can share anything. But like, I think that's the thing about like Izzy, and that's the thing about the gym or the people at the gym is like they're not really into like doing stuff for people to see.
Yeah,
that's exactly why, like, you know, people, not a lot of people know about this sort of stuff.
I wish that like people would understand that and not think what I do on camera or what someone does on a camera is exactly like, oh, that's how they are. You know, it's weird, bro. It's really strange. Yeah, but nah, bro. I man, yeah, I sing that dude's praises like forever. Yeah.
So you mentioned you know, obviously okay, I wanted to ask about Holloway, but we'll hold it for a second.
Okay.
Out of Izzy's fights, which fight has been the best fight so far, you reckon?
Best fight or like
what's been your favorite?
My favorite was definitely the Gastelum fight. Like, just like, yo, I'm ready to die, motherfucker, are you? Like, just to see him, bro, like, oh shit, here we go. That for me was like
game changer, man.
That was
and especially after, like, not a lot of people can dig deep and get to that place, brother.
Bro, I've never had to be there. You know? Like, I think 99.99% of people in the world would never have to have to go into that fucking, you know,
space.
It's
like a different realm, bro. Yeah.
Bro. I don't think there's many people in this world that would be able to even fathom going there. But bro, like, that's my favorite, bro. I've watched that a few times. But I mean, all the other ones, bro, like, fuck, like.
The latest one, bro. The latest it's definitely got to be one of the best.
Yeah. And I think it was just like, I was just like, bro, this dude is fucking nutty, bro.
Did you see Paulo Costa's face at the start of the first round?
Yeah,
and the start of the second.
This motherfucker. But you know, like that one, and then you know what, bro? I enjoyed the fucking I enjoyed the one before that, bro. Fucking
Robert Whittaker?
No. The fucking bro.
Which one?
Thank you, gay Jesus. Don't forget Jesus. Fucking. Oh no, fucking fuck. What's his name, G? You know which one? The fucking Cuban dude. Sorry, G.
Hey,
Sorry, Azzy, I fucked it up.
Joel Romero.
Yeah, bro. I even enjoyed that because I know, like, I enjoyed that because
it's very technical.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things going on without a lot of movements.
But I was like, okay.
From Joel.
But like from him, he was like, yo, I'm just gonna stay here. But Izzy was like active as fuck, G. And it was interesting to see. And Mayweather gets this all the time too, bro. It's like, oh fuck, what a boring fight. Like, it's like what? It's like, bro, he's the champ. What the fuck do you expect? You come at the champ. You don't just fucking. It's a respect thing. You're like, okay, I got to come out and get this. But he's still.
It's different, yeah. If you want to come out and win it, you've got to take it. You can't expect the fight to come to you.
For people to say shit about it, man, shut the fuck up. I was like, bro, get out of here, man.
Yeah, they don't. That's the other thing. Like, you know, casuals, they don't really understand like the game. Like, why the heck would Izzy? Because that's what Yoel does. You know, that's what he's always been doing. He tries to pull you into a moment of non-activity.
Yeah.
And then he'll explode on you. And he caught Izzy a little bit, and Izzy actually did say that as well.
In that first.
So if he knows that that's what he does, what the heck you want to do that again, bro? This doesn't make sense.
But yeah, that would be my favorite one. I mean, my favorite of all time is Johnny Bones and Chris. What's his name? Christian. Oh, fuck, bro. I am so blank today. I've had too many pies.
It's
the first one where he just about lost it, bro, against the fucking Norwegian cat, G.
Norwegian?
Yeah, Norwegian. Yeah, bro, Norwegian.
Which weight category is that?
Isn't it light heavyweight? Fuck, bro.
Light heavy?
Your viewers are gonna go, bro. This guy, get this fucking guy out of here.
Which is that, light heavyweight?
Yeah, man.
Are you talking about Jan Blachowicz or?
No. This is way.
That's Polish guy.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, fucking. Wait, bro. If I get his name, I'm gonna be like, damn.
Now we gotta find out what light heavyweight Norwegian. Okay, let's see.
Swedish, bro. Swedish dude.
Oh, Swedish. Yeah. Let's see. Who's it?
That's old Gustav. Nah,
Alexander Gustafsson.
Gustafsson, bro. Yeah. That's fuck, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, all the listeners out there. Okay.
Yeah, he's a pretty talented dude, but
the first fight, bro, I was watching that at a bar, G, and I was just like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a white. I'll just fucking 2 rounds, it'll be over. He used to be one of my favorites, old Johnny Bones, but I just couldn't deal with that shit. I've had enough.
Yeah,
I hope as he knocks him the fuck out. Nah, I said that so hard, G.
I think as much as people might not want to hear it, that probably is like It's probably is what's gonna happen. Like,
Yeah.
bro, if you look at okay, so yes, I understand John Jones is good, and he's been good like but if you look at Izzy and the rate that he's improving,
yeah, and he's gonna keep going.
It's bro. You look at that Gastelum fight, and then you look at every other fight after that, bro.
Yeah. He's gotten way better, but like, and that's the thing is Jones has gone the opposite way. He got worse. He's hiding under the fucking gym all the time.
Did you watch the video where he got caught with the drink driving one?
The one where he's like A B C D E, and he's
bro. He just has too much free time, or he just gets up to too much shit.
He's got. I mean, if you go psychologically, he's got self-sabotaging behavior. Like when things go, and I know people like this, bro. These people my cousins are like this shit. Like they have the self-sabotaging where things are going really well and they have to do something just to switch it up.
Yeah, just kind of blow it
away.
Is it like you have a certain addiction to things being like unstable, chaos, and that kind of. Yep. And you want things to be like unstable.
Yeah, it doesn't feel normal. Like, it's like, man, things aren't supposed to be going like this for me. And you know what? If there's anybody who should be like that, would be, I mean, there's a lot of people that are like that. I mean, Tyson was like that too, but Tyson came from like, and then here's another thing, is Tyson came from, bro, the gulliest of the gully, bro. Like, he was in Brooklyn flipping, selling drugs and stuff.
Bro, it's crazy.
John Jones is like a privileged motherfucker. Like,
he is, yeah. He is.
He had a mom and a dad, like,
Bro, if you hear like some of the stories of Mike Tyson's upbringing and when he first started boxing, how they brought him to the smoke. About the smokers? Have you heard of that one before? Yeah. Bro, that's like wow, bro. He was like a beast. Nobody wanted to fight this kid, and like I think he was like 13 or something at that time, and everybody was like saying his coach was lying about his age.
Yeah,
and he just had to say he's 18 just so that he could fight. It's crazy, man. Can you imagine those days where like there's no real, I wouldn't say no rules, but like it's kind of like a dog eat dog.
Yeah.
Bro, it was rough, man. Yeah, Different era.
Yeah, and there wasn't a lot of scientific research going on behind how kids' minds develop. Because bro, like Casamata, like he hypnotized them too, eh? Like
there was a bit of a
Joe Rogan's one.
Yeah, he talked a little bit. What was his name?
His coach?
No. Teddy Atlas. Atlas was talking about Casimiro, and he tells a lot of stories of how Casimiro does a lot of things and all that. Yeah. And if you like pick all these pieces from everywhere and put like a picture, Casimiro was like he was sort of like a not only just a coach, but he was like a mental performance coach. Yeah. He was like it's like everything in one, like a father, brother, like. It's crazy, man.
It's crazy, bro. You gotta, and that takes a lot of time and effort, man.
And that's the thing that a lot of people talk about as well. Like this day and age, you have a lot of coaches, but not a lot of teachers, bro.
Oh, I like that. That's nice. Yeah, that's so true, man.
Exactly, and like Doug Viney actually does. He actually said this before as well. Like if you want to learn like a combat sport or boxing or whatever, you look for a teacher, bro. Everybody can hold pads for you. Like, you could hold pads if you've never boxed before, you could just pick up the pads and just hold the pads for someone. But like, are you really learning the art or the sport itself? Like all the little technique and all that sort of stuff. So I was like, and that's like the kind of, these days everybody sees when you see someone of like, and he's doing that, I want to do this as well, and then like everybody gets into it, and then it just fucking dilutes.
Oh yeah.
And you see sometimes some people, pull up some whack shit,
crazy shit, bro. I've seen.
Where do you learn that, bro?
Yeah. Bro. It's funny, like in MMA, bro, because like you use everything. Like, there's some people that just come up with some crazy shit. Remember when old Nate Diaz was like, playing touch butt in the park with these dudes, and he was doing like those crazy moves.
Oh yeah,
bro. Like that shit's funny, bro. Like Yeah, bro.
You're talking about Max Holloway just now, so I gotta ask, man, were you a bit disappointed when Max Holloway lost twice against Alexander?
Yeah, bro. But I like him because of his personality.
Come on, man. Volk's our local boy.
I love Volk, bro. He's the fucking man, G. But like, I like Max because of his. He's just. I like his personality. I think I just vibe with him because he's like a Moldy dude. Like that's it. Like I'm just like, yeah, this dude. And I like that he's just like, he just has fun. Like he just gets out there and just, yeah, like in the media and stuff. He doesn't take himself too seriously. Yeah, but I mean, I think I just said him because, to be honest, I think he was the last one that I was thinking about. Like, I think I was watching a video this morning of him, like calling out DC like 100 times. Bro, I love that shit.
That's hilarious, man.
I'm the baddest man on the planet, DC. Oh fuck, yeah. I love that shit.
I watched that one. That's hilarious, bro. He's calling out a heavyweight, bro.
Bro. Fuck it, like let's just do it. And then he's like following around, like, yeah, bro, I've come to find you. I'm coming for that rematch. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's good jokes. And that's what I like about like Holloway. Like, you know, it's just good jokes, good fun, and he's just like entertainer, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
And that's like my all-time favorite before he went all fucking psycho was old Rampage. I loved Rampage because he was just a dickhead and like he was just like he had no censorship. Like he was just, and then later on when he didn't realize he sucked anymore, he kept trying to go. But like, yeah, we're talking like, you know, when he fought Chuck, where, you know, Vanderlei, that kind of thing. And even in Pride, like that was cool for me. I was like, yeah, he was my favorite. Him, Rashad is another one.
Yeah, Rashad Evans was another interesting cat as well. Like I watched this podcast on Joe Rogan and how he was like before when he was fighting and like after he retired and, you know, he's doing his commentary and like stuff on the side now. And like he's just such a chill dude. Might have been because of the weed as well.
Or the mushrooms.
Because he was like, that was what he was saying as well. Like, you know, after fighting professionally and when he retired, like, he just changed his whole mindset. And I think he got into like the vegan thing as well and tried that. But what are your thoughts about that, bro? Like the whole vegan thing, like.
Oh, bro, I tried to go like vegetarian one time, and bro, I was like, yeah,
nah, not for you,
nah, not for me. I do the keto stuff. Like I do keto like like week, like during the weekday, and then in the weekend we film bakery runs most of the time. So like I do like, I did that. I mean, I lost a bit of weight. Like it was weird, bro, because the first time I was on camera, bro, I was like, gee, I gotta lose some weight because I'm getting too big. And then I lost like 10 kg, man, just on keto, like just eating better, not really doing much.
A better diet.
Yeah, because I didn't have a lot of time, bro. Like, because I mean, if I'm doing 3 podcasts a week, on top of that, working a 9 to 5, you know, it's hard for me. I'm gonna have to cut something out. So yeah, just eating better. And then once I get down to where I need to get to, then I'll thing. But like, it's just finding little tricks and little.
You do because you're doing like basketball coaching and all that. Do you get too much physical activity outside of that, or?
Well, that's the thing is like COVID like hit, so there was no basketball season, so I didn't have any. Like I couldn't go to the gym. Like I couldn't, you know, just go and shoot around with my boys. But yeah, I mean, having my kids and running around with them is, you know, enough. And at work, at school, you know, it's you know, I'm active all the time there too. But it's just like, you know, I get extra active and then just eating better, and that's what I'm trying. But, you know, it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
But especially when you've got this reputation of eating pies.
And running a pie series.
Yeah. So we try to do it like, we're trying to get our season 3 done and wrapped up before the end of the month. So, you know, that will be us for the year.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Talking about bakery runs, bro, yeah, tell us the story of how that whole thing came about, bro. Like,
yeah, so my friend.
That's pretty random,
bro. It is. My friend is Sly Will Slingsby. He's
shout out to Will.
Shout outs to my bro Will. Yeah, he's I've known him for ages. We talked about that place I used to work at with the gaming stuff. He used to come in. That's how I first met him.
The one down at K Road.
K Road, yeah. It was that where Nick of the Woods is at the moment, like the one here. But it used to be a gaming, like a little lounge. And so, yeah, he would come in after school and he was always doing like little montages with his little Halo and shit like that. And then he went to go and do it properly. He went to uni and did videography. And then, bro, like, he just kept getting up there. And we did a couple of basketball jobs where we did some social media for Basketball New Zealand.
Ooh.
And then, then he went to go and work at TVNZ for and over COVID, they didn't re-up his contract. And yeah, he just said, bro, like, I want to just do stuff. Like, just give me an idea. And I said, man, like, everybody always, and it used to be an ongoing joke on my Twitch stream that, like, Clendon Bakery is the best bakery. Like, anybody else will tell me otherwise, I'd say, you're all shit. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. And then I said, man, it would be really cool if I just went around and we just reviewed these places and just gave my honest opinion about them. And then we did one episode at just around the corner from my house at Hill Road. And we put it up online just to see what happened. And yeah, it just blew up.
Just to see what the feedback is, eh?
Yeah.
And it's been getting like pretty good feedback, man.
Yeah, man. Like, it's weird. Like, for me, like, I'm an Instagram guy, right? So I was on Instagram and I'll look at the numbers on Instagram. I'll be like, oh yeah, it's all good. Like, oh, that's pretty cool, you know? But then I checked out flipping Facebook and it was like, I think the Joseph Parker one's at like 80K, like 80,000 people have watched it. And then like the next one's at like 60K. And, you know, I'm just like, whoa. Like on Instagram, it still pops a bit, but yeah. And it's been cool. It's been a great, and it's been, because I did the podcast around the before. And so, you know, I was able to call on these guests that I've already had to come on and be guests on the show, and yeah, that's how
they're happy to do it, and
yeah, because they had a good time on the interview because I was asking, you know, questions that they were like, oh man, that was pretty cool, like, you know, and yeah, so our first guest was Pax Sari, who's a comedian and he's a great dude, and then yeah, we were like, oh, I wonder what it's like to have a guest on. We did it, and we're like, oh, this is great, and then just got more and more, yeah. I love it though, man. It's good fun.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I personally enjoy watching the the series, bro. It's pretty cool, and just to see the like the progression of the whole series as well. So I wanted to ask, like, there was one that was pretty cool to me, was the one where you actually worked with the
baker.
Yeah, what was it in? What's his name? Lee.
Yeah,
Lee. And, what's the name of the show? How do I get?
Thie.
Thie. Yes. Yeah. So Thie, and then you guys actually had the chance to.
We made our own pies?
Yeah, make your own pies. Bro, I've got to ask, man.
Okay.
How the heck did you think of putting mee goreng in the pie? But how the heck did that come about, bro?
Okay, I'll tell you.
What was going in your...
Okay. I have an uncle. His name's Alti, right? My uncle. This is the first time I told the story.
Yeah.
You know, it's for
special,
you.
Man. Special.
Okay. I have this uncle. His name's Alti, right? And he's patched up. He's in the mongrel mob. All right. He went to jail. Okay. This is a true story. He went to jail for a lag, which... You know, I think he did like maybe 4 years. And then he came out and I was like 12 when he came out, and he showed me the prison omelet. All right. And what it was, okay, what it was eggs. You put eggs, and then you get your mee goreng noodles, you put it in and you stir it up. All right. And then you make it like a flat pancake, right? And you put cheese on it, you flip it over, and then you put it on your plate, and that's how you eat it. That's the prison omelet, right? And so then I went home and I was like, man, I'm making these all the time. These are the jam. And then I would put like bacon in it. I put pepper in it. I put like capsicum in it. You know, I would get creative with this shit.
Just to try to mix it
But
up.
the staple was the eggs and the
mee goreng. Yeah.
And I love mee goreng noodles, man. I lived on mee goreng noodles most of my life.
Bro, you're telling someone who came from Asia, bro.
Bro,
we know that mee goreng, bro.
They're the jam. And so I thought, man, let's just put it in a pie, man. And then when I hit up Lee, like I gave him all my things and before we filmed, and he's like, "This is the greatest idea I've ever heard of in my life." And then we did it, and we tasted it, and it was amazing. And yeah, and we did that one and another smoked fish pie. So, and then we did the Cocoa Pops thing. So we did 3 pies.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, man. Yeah. I was like, and just to have that, have the idea put. Not only just for the show, but you guys actually went on to sell it to people.
Yeah, we spent one day. Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
How was that? How was that whole?
Bro, it sold out in like 42 minutes, man. Like, yeah, we were there for, and then he had to go and put another batch on of everything.
Wow.
Yeah, and
like, were you expecting it to have like a huge turnout like that?
Bro, I got there, right? I parked. I had a full day of work in town, so I parked at the Sky City. And, I come up on my little freaking scooter, and I come around the corner, and there was like 7 to 8, there's like a good 10 people.
Just waiting there already.
Waiting out for it to open, and I go, and they were all like, "Hey, Tim," and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, bro, we love your stuff, bro. Like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And then there was more people. And when we opened up, there was a line. I was like, holy. And like, it was cool to do that after COVID because, you know, and Lee will never say, like, he never said it to us, but we knew. Like, you know, like, it's hard, man. Like, especially on K Road. Because K Road, there's so many cafes.
Heaps of them. On that whole stretch as well. Like,
it's everywhere, right?
Bit of a struggle. Right?
And so, because it's him and his family, and for us to just go, bro, like, we would just want to bring people in. We don't want no kickback from it. We just want to try this out. Are you keen? He's like, bro, I love your show. Let's do it. And it was really cool. And we're going to be doing it again this year. This time probably out in Albany. We've got a spot out there that's a bit bigger. Yeah. Because we couldn't, I mean, people couldn't park. Like, so. Yeah,
parking's always a problem. Especially with the whole roadworks going on now. Like, it's just been going on for ages, man.
Bro, and like, they were right outside the shop. And we couldn't even film with like the mics on because it was
the
just
noise
too loud.
was just too bad.
Yeah. And, but like, the other thing with that is it brought like, man, he must have made a lot of money that day. Like, you know, and then, you know, like I was on my FM like the next week and I grabbed some pies and took them into he goes, here's some Ring pies. And, you know, we shouted them out on my FM and then he got more people in and, you know, and it's that village mentality we talked about at the start.
Brother. Just a brother helping another brother out, you know, and that's what it is.
And he makes things that we love. Like he makes pies. Exactly. We love pies. Let's try and help the bro out. But I think next time when we do it, we're going to get some merch and things like that. And so.
Just try to push a little more. Because at the end of the day, like, you know, you are doing something on your brand and your stuff as well. And I'm pretty sure, brother, like the support, one of the things that, you know, people underestimate is you will get some haters, no doubt about that. But the people who do support you, like, you'll be surprised. Like, you know, like, man, they really appreciate. We don't. I mean, like, if you want to get something, you can. But I'm not forcing it down your throat. You know, like, gotta get it. But like, people actually do support you, and they're like, hey, you know, we love your stuff, whatever. And I'm sure there, you know, some people who are loyal, who, you know, like, they want to see more. And because people got to understand as well. Like, all this costs money, bro.
Oh, bro.
All this costs money.
Yeah.
And like, it's come out from your own pocket. And if you want to get better, you want to improve, you got to upgrade and this and that. Whatnot. You got to do other stuff. So. You got to also invest in something that you believe in. Exactly.
Know? I think that's probably been something that I've kind of had to grow into. You know, like investing money and investing time into something that you believe in. And I mean, this is a perfect example for you, bro. Like, you've invested all the money to get all the gear. You've invested the time that you spend, and a lot of people don't. I don't want to say appreciate that. But sometimes people forget, and they need to start remembering, like, to help these local people out. Like,
exactly.
You know, get in and you know, donate or talk to somebody that you know that will sponsor, or, you know, and be honest. And if you believe, if you like that content, bro, like, do whatever you can in your power to help them. You know,
exactly, man. And you know, that's the one. Like, I feel some people have that wrong mentality where, like, you know, you have podcast and you like start to find negative stuff about the other, you know, the smaller podcasts just starting up and stuff like that. Look, man, if you want to find something bad about someone, you can find 101 things, you know, but like, what are you gaining from it, bro? Like, the whole idea is you should be helping each other to improve, to get better, and to elevate yourselves, man. If you want to be on the, you know, the big playing field, like, you got to help each other. Like, those big fellas didn't get there just by themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's what really kind of pisses me off too, is those big people that didn't get there by themselves are the ones that kind of distance themselves. But that's a societal thing too, because there's some people that are dickheads that will, like, you know, like, let's talk about DMs for a second. You can't just slide into anyone's DMs and say, hey, can you come on my podcast? You know, because that person, more than anything, females, like the female, it's so hard for me to get female guests on because I can't just say, hey, would you be interested in coming on? Because they get all these weird fucking, like,
but they've got probably hundreds of DMs.
And I'm lost in that massive tsunami pile, of these tryhards that are trying to get their ends, you know?
Yeah.
But, it's like I had Athena from Flavor on my...
Actually, I listened to that podcast yesterday.
And, like, I messaged her, like, 4 or 5 times because, you know, and she even says it to me. She's like, Tim, if I don't get back to you, just keep plugging because I can only see who's on the top
of the list. Yeah.
So you just have to keep plugging with me. And she said, don't worry, don't be shy. I'm not going to think that you're a dickhead. Just keep going, because but like, why though? And the other thing too, bro, that I wanted to bring up with you as well is back to Izzy again. Izzy has his OnlyFans, right? It's the most genius fucking shit I've ever seen in my life,
bro. Exactly, 100%. I was gonna. I don't know.
It's the most fucking genius thing. Bro, he's another fucking level, G.
You see, the thing with what Izzy does is he leads the way and he does what he wants, bro.
Yeah.
And he makes it. He adds his own touch and spice to it. Nobody can say anything, bro. Usually, the idea people have when they think OnlyFans is
feet or teddy pics.
Yeah, and nudes and girls and this and that, whatnot, and porn stars or whatever, blah blah blah. But like, Izzy starting his OnlyFans and he just does it like.
Yeah, and he's got millions of people around the world that would be like, bro, all good. Just as long as it's like, and he's like, and then there's other people that are like, oh, bro, what if, oh, bro, like, why would you do that? Like, and it's not the nude side of things, it's like the content side of things. Because he's putting stuff you don't see on it.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
He's putting,
private,
behind the scenes, seeing stuff, and you can message him and things like that, right? But like, these people that are like, nah, that's fucking bullshit, are the ones that are greedy. Like, they want more content from this guy, but they're not willing to pay for it. And it's like, bro, like, well, don't moan about it then. If you don't want to pay for it, fuck off. Like,
it's nothing personal, it's just business, man.
And that's great.
That's what it is.
And that's why, it buzzes me out, bro. And even chicks that get down with that stuff on the OnlyFans, bro, good on them, bro. Like, shit.
Exactly. Yeah, it's your way how you want to earn your money, man. If that's how you want to get your paycheck,
easy.
Go for it,
But like,
I respect it, man.
There's a quote, a Jay-Z quote, bro, and it says, "What you eat doesn't make me shit," right? Like, so whatever you do doesn't affect me at all. Exactly, 100%. And that's exactly what it is. Like, people just need to just go, nah, that doesn't affect me. It's not gonna make me feel a different way. I just need to avoid it. But that's not the way the world works, man. The world works from like, I've got an opinion, everyone listen to me. It's like, fuck up. Like, nobody wants to hear, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
And like, exactly what, this, he's building like multiple sources of income,
It's fucking brilliant, man.
And you gotta have, when you have that kind of following like that, and you gotta capitalize, bro, because if not, you lose out, man.
It's not, and that's the cool thing about it, is it's not gonna be like, he recognizes this might not be here in 10, 15 years. Yeah. So let's make as much as we can now,
while you're at the top of your game, or even like, still climbing.
Save it
like
up.
Exactly like how I think the other one was like how Floyd Mayweather does a lot of his stuff. Like when he first opened his club, and he was like heavily promoting it, and people were like, man, we don't like watch or see this stuff or whatever. But bro, he gets all the attention he needs, bro. You know what I mean? And he keeps, the thing about like what he does, he always tries to stay relevant and in the conversation, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, that's brilliant, man. Like, why would you, just because like boxers in the past have retired and then went off the radar and went quiet and like lived their life, doesn't mean he needs to follow whatever they're doing.
That's the thing with him. I mean, the Conor thing, this Jake Paul thing, like, it's keeping him relevant and it's keeping eyes on him, but he's like capitalizing on it. And that's what's like, bro, like, the only people that have problems with that are the ones that aren't in their position, like, and will never be in their position.
Oh, their big problem, bro, with society is jealous, bro. Oh, jealousy.
We can talk about that all day. But like, the only other ones too are the ones that think, here's another one, bro, is that the ones that think that your success is gonna take money away from me. You know what I mean? And that comes down to jealousy. But I mean, look at this podcast, bro. Like, I do a podcast, you do a podcast. We're here together.
Just two podcasters.
I know, just chilling out, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
But like,
man.
Here's the thing: is like, my following's gonna come over and see you, and your following's gonna come see me. Exactly. We both fucking win, And whether your following's 10 and mine's 20, fucking who cares?
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, it's content, and it's cool content. Like, my people will come over and go, oh fuck, I watched your interview with Ali, but I'm gonna come and watch the Ali show, and it's like, cool. Like, that's what we fucking want, right?
Exactly. And like, you're promoting your mates,
Bro.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, obviously everybody already watches Joe Rogan, or they listen to Gary Vee or whatever, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine.
I think like going back to the conversation we had over DMs, bro. Like I said, bro, I've been watching you, and then I had to come back and I go in a good way though, bro. Yeah. Like I've been like not like watching. Oh fuck, what's he doing? I've been watching the grind. I've been watching the effort being put in, and I've been admiring that shit because. Fucking 80% of people that do podcasts don't do that shit. Exactly. They just do it, post it, boom, I'm done. Why is nobody listening? You know? It's much bigger than that. Hard. And you know.
And like, that's the thing, when I look at your stuff as well, I was like, I know, man, this guy's done the hard work. And what shocked me even more was when I found out you're a full-time teacher as well. Yeah. Because let's be honest, like as a teacher, really your job doesn't end when you leave the school. Nah. You know what I mean? And I have a lot of mates who are teachers, and a good mate of mine, his missus is a teacher as well. So like I understand like all that work that actually goes into it. Like you actually bring home your work to do. Yeah. And the fact that you are actually like pumping out this content, interviewing people, talking to people. I was like, man, this guy's grinding, bro.
Well, that's the thing is I have to, because like what I said, if I invested my time and my effort and my money into this thing, I can't let myself down. Like I can't just be like, oh yeah, all good, like I'll do it later, because that's time that I've spent talking to somebody or coming out here or doing stuff like that I'll never get back, and that I can't spend with my kids, like I can't spend with my missus,
Exactly,
so
bro.
it's really kind of I always think back to like and when I was, and this is the another reason why I changed Twitch streaming, bro, is because it's just time. Like the amount of time I took, I'd be on stream for 5-6 hours, maybe even longer, and that's who you are. It's a waste of time, Yeah. So but like that's the thing, is like a lot of times we kind of forget that content is king. Exactly. But it shouldn't have to be free all the time, bro. Like you gotta pay your part too,
Time is money, brother.
It is, bro.
People don't understand, man. Like you take, you know what I mean? Like we could be spending time playing with our kids, families, or just chilling or doing whatever. But like we're putting out content, like at some point.
But here's the thing I want to put out to you, bro. And this is how I've changed my mindset too, bro. And it's pretty morbid the way that I'm gonna fucking say this. But when I die, bro, like if I die, I have this fucking dope trail of content that my kids will see, my grandkids will see, my grandkids, because it's all there. Like my funeral is gonna be lit, G. Like how they have a funeral and it's got like fucking like a projector up, and it's got like photos of things. Bro, I've got fucking pie interviews. I've got bro, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. And it's the same with you, bro. Like they can look back at this.
That's
like
a legacy, brother. That's a legacy.
Same with both of us, And people like that's really what I'm like. I always think back. I'm like, yeah, bro. Like I've just got to do some dope shit, and then and that's what I've been doing pretty much.
You want to leave behind something, and I think like man, it's more than you realize. Like it's actually inspiration, motivation for people out there. Like you might not know it personally, or they might not say anything to you, but you might be the very reason someone else does to go something big and great one day.
Yeah, but I think even that comment, bro, they might not say that. I reckon we need to change that as people, bro, in New Zealand. Like if I see some dope shit, bro, and I did it with you,
you just say it straight up.
I'll be like, bro, your shit is dope, bro, and you work, and I like that. Like
exactly, yeah. And what and that's the thing, you got to, as a creator as well, someone who does all this stuff, like you've got to not only pay attention to your stuff, but you got to look around your whole.
Oh yeah, man. And you see what other people are doing, and you're like, man, that's cool. Exactly, but it's flipping that switch between looking at something and going, oh, bro, I reckon I can do that better than he could. You need to change that too, bro. That was pretty cool, man. Fuck, I wonder how he did it if I can talk to him, And the world is connected, bro. Like. It's all that, like if you want to get to somebody, you could probably get to somebody really quickly. Like you could figure, if you want it enough, if you wanted to talk to somebody, you could figure a way out if you really want it.
Yeah, I think that's like maybe I don't know, we might share the same ideology, but for me, like I don't believe in impossible, bro. Like there's always a way. If you want to do something, you want to get something done, there's always a way.
Always, bro.
And you just got to figure it out, or you got to find someone who can help you
And then just keep like I mean, my thing was the podcast. Like I was like, okay, I want to get this by the end of next year. I want to get it top 50 in New Zealand, and we did it. But it was like, okay, cool, I've done that one. What's next? You know. But yeah, it's really interesting that goals and achievements, you know, they come and go. But as long as you're clear-headed on where you want to go and what you want to do.
You have a sense of direction as well. You know,
I mean, my biggest dream is to be like a Jimmy Fallon, you know, that kind of guy, like on TV for New Zealand, like, or even America. But, you know, like, that's my big dream. And it's huge. Like, it's a massive dream. But if I didn't have it, then I would have no direction.
I wouldn't say, like, to be honest, bro, from what I've seen, I wouldn't say that's a dream. Like, that will come to reality.
Yeah.
You are already setting yourself up to be in that position, bro.
You see it now. When I said that, I'm like, yeah.
And even before you said it, bro, just looking at all your stuff, because I'll scroll way back, bro. I look at everything.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you want to see everything. You listen to this and that and whatnot. And like just that whole progression that you've made, you're already like,
I feel that
brushing that chair for you to sit on. Or
and I mean, like, it's funny that you said, like, there was a dude hit me up that worked for Māori television around doing, because there was a show called there's a guy called Peel, and he's quite well known in New Zealand. He's like a Māori entertainer, and he has a show on that is like that. And they had Izzy on, and they sucked, man. Like, I was like, you have Israel Adesanya on, and you can't even like ask him questions around like good shit. They asked him like, what does it feel like to be in the octagon? I'm like, what the fuck do you think, G? Like, straight up, what do you think he's gonna fucking say? And this is and here I am going, oh yeah, you shouldn't put down other things. But I was like, bro, what do you think, G?
Some
like,
questions could have been better thought of.
And you just see, is he like, oh yeah, it's just mean, brother. Like, you know, like, I'm just like, bro, you give me like, that opportunity, bro, I would smoke it out the water. But it really comes down to who's seen your shit. And
exactly,
And I feel that towards the end of last year, people were seeing my shit that I never thought would see it, and have, you know, messaged me like, bro, we're gonna have a conversation about this and this and this. But I can't fucking pay my mortgage with it. You know, like I can't rest on that. I just got to keep moving and keep being
100%.
avoiding complacency.
Yeah. Exactly, 100%, brother.
Hey, you! Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video.
Yeah, so that's my dream, bro. That's my dream, and like it's like what you said. That like I planned it out, bro, and I planned everything out in my mind. I was like, okay, I got to get, and I made a checklist on what I need to get better at. I need to get better at talking. I need to get better at researching. I need to get better at this and this and this, and I need to get better at social media. And I did, like, and I worked extremely hard.
You know what's the best part is, like, we always looking for ways to get better. Like, that you don't want to get to a point where you're getting, you know, you hit a plateau and it's like, it just stays there. You're always finding ways to, like, oh, maybe can I do this? Can I try this? And it's just trying new things as well.
Yeah. So like, that was the bakery run for me. Like, so I did the podcast. Then I was like, okay, I need to get better at being in front of the camera, like, normally. And so that was the bakery run. And now my thing is like, so my 2021 thing is I need to get better at thinking on my feet and being able to command an audience. So I'm starting like stand up. Like,
yeah, bro. I was gonna ask. That was one of the things, bro. First thing that popped like in my head when I was watching all your stuff, I was like, is he a comedian? Does he do stand up comedy on the side, or like he must be doing it, bro?
Never done it.
And then when I was like watching all your stuff and all that, and I hear a few podcasts and you were saying like, you know how you say your family actually doesn't think you're funny at all.
Yeah, they fucking think I'm dry as shit, bro. Especially my missus, bro. I want to talk about my missus for a second, dude. She thinks and I hope she's watching that. I bet she's not. She never supports me in the
bro, I'll cut this clip and I'll put it out.
Nah, you leave it in here with Joe and Junior Far. You should have come to training there one. Fuck you, Junior Far. God damn.
This is the bonus clip.
No, so yeah, they always hit me. Especially my missus, bro. My missus comes from a family where like you just don't laugh at other people's jokes, and I say some funny shit, but she never thinks I'm funny. But she'll tell her friends that I'm funny. she'll go, oh yeah, he's funny. But when it comes to me, it's like, nah, G,
you're not funny.
Dry.
No, don't try that.
And like, yeah. And I always, my son is the butt of all my jokes. He's 8, man, and he has this humongous head. And I just go at him about his big head all the time. And he thinks it's funny. But my missus just, you need to stop that. That's not very funny anymore. You know, the 3rd time you've said that today and it's not funny. But yeah, so I'm starting stand-up, bro.
How's that whole...
It's I'm really lucky to have some really talented people around me to help me. And I've like Pax and Joe Damon as well. I run ideas past them, but they never give me, because you can't cheat that shit.
It's like your own style. They have your own kind of
My
taste
biggest
to it.
worry is that, I don't know, people might not get my hood humor, but I'm going into it. I've got my 7 minutes sorted, and it's funny, bro. They have like competitions, so they have like, if you're new to the game, they let you in, and then you do like 6 minutes, and then they give you an invite to come to the tournament that they do, and it's like a heats.
Ooh, where is this at, bro?
Just in town, bro. I'll let you know, G. Come through,
bro. Give me the details, man. I usually watch a lot of stuff online, and like I want to go to like live stuff, but I just don't know where to go. And I was like, man, where do we check out?
It's at the Classic on Queen Street. But I went for my very first time, bro. Like on Tuesday, ever.
Oh, was that the one I saw
on my stories?
On your stories,
yeah. And I got heaps of people like, oh,
how was that?
It was cool, but there was times where I was sitting back like, I reckon I could hang here. You know, like, yeah. And then Pax gets up and he's like a G, bro. Like that dude
just killing it.
Pro. Like it's like watching it's like watching Izzy in the cage, bro. He's like moving around, like setting up traps. Like that's what he does, bro. He sets traps up just like Izzy does. Like he'll set up a trap, like, where's my brown people at? And then he'll know if he gets then he'll go one way. If no, oh man, and then he'll go another way. You know what I'm saying?
Now.
So he's real smart like that. So he was, just picking his brain, and because he picks my brain for like basketball stuff, and I pick his stuff for comedy.
When did you talking about basketball? Like when did you from? Is it from when you were a kid or?
Bro, so I used to play league, bro, and then I got injured. I played league until I was a 5. And my mum was like, because my mum raised me, she was solo mum, so she was just like, fuck, I'm not taking this dude to the hospital every time he gets hurt. And I broke my collarbone, and then she was like, nah, you're not doing this. And then I was like 6, and then I started since I was 6 years old, and been all around the world, man. I've been been to China, India, Guam, America. I was seconded. I went to the States for 3 months and did a secondment over there.
Oh, nice. It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, bro, it's pretty tricky.
So you're like deep into basketball.
I was deep, bro. I was an assistant coach for the junior tall ferns for the New Zealand national under 18s.
Oh.
Yeah, bro. For a few years, for 3 or 4 years.
And is your boy getting into basketball?
Hey, little bits here and there. My daughter is my daughter's got the genes, like the tall genes. Like she's tall as, man. And I'm like, come on. Like, yeah, pick up the ball, but she's just like, nah. I'd rather just draw. And that's cool. Like I'm like,
yeah, they got that thing, They got that thing. They kind of grow into their own thing.
Yeah. And that's how it is. But no, my son's getting into it a little bit. He likes skateboarding and riding his bikes and stuff like that. But but he wants to get into boxing. Like, yeah. He
pretty good.
Yeah, so I watch a lot of stuff, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I reckon I could do that, Dad." Like, come on in. We might take him down to Smack Gym, and
it's close to and that's where baby Nansen and Sam the Shank.
Yo, she's a beast, yo. She's a beast, yo. I used to work, and here's another one. I used to work at a school, my school that before, and her kids go. She's got twin girls.
Twins, yeah.
They used to go there, right? And I knew who she was, and I was in the year 7 and 8s, right? And I was like, yo, and we were in church and she was there, and I was like, yo, that lady right there could knock everybody else in this church out clean. Bro. And they're like, what are you talking about? I was like, you wouldn't expect it, you know?
100%. Yeah, she has, just outside the ring, she's a very nice person, very friendly. And like, just a small lady, and you're like, man, but when she fights, brother.
Yeah, I've seen, because I would watch highlights, and I was like, and then she showed up at school with her kids, and I was like, holy man, that's the same one that I saw on the thing. Yeah.
And Sam, her partner as well, man.
He's a cool dude too.
He was the former king in the ring, bro. That guy's really good. And we actually gonna have Sam on in the near future, definitely. Yeah. And so it'll be good to have a chat because we've done one with Baby.
Yeah, yep.
And I was supposed to get Sam on, so it'll be nice to have Sam on and hear his side of the story as well, because they've got some stories, man.
Especially being out those ways. Like bro, I remember when they're I remember it was a way back, man. Smack Gym got broken into, bro. And holy shit,
I haven't ever heard about this one, but
this is I don't know who it was, but whoever it was, bro, there was a lot of people out looking for them. They found them. They found everything. They got everything back.
Ooh.
I don't think there was no fisticuffs or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was just like a return it. We know where you are. Return it tomorrow. Put it out in the front. Now. And then it happened.
You don't want to know what happens if you don't,
bro. Like, who would do that shit? Go in. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's
like for example, just fellas rocking up to the gym and trying to, street gangsters rocking up.
Do they get heaps of that here?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a coach here, but I mean, you definitely have a few of those. Okay. And I've heard some stories, so I'll leave the stories to the right people to tell them. Okay. There was a funny one that happened quite recently. I'll tell you off camera. Okay. that one we gotta keep off the camera. But I'll tell you off camera. But talking about talking about school and all that, and being a teacher, bro. So how long have you been teaching? And
this will be my fifth year.
Fifth year?
Well, like I graduated. So I graduated from uni. I got my teaching degree. And then I got swooped up from a basketball organization, and then I worked with them for 5 years. And then what a lot of people don't know is that if you have a degree and you don't use it, was a teaching degree, you don't use it in 6 years, you have to go back to uni.
Oh.
So I was like, I found that out because I was just wondering, and then they said, I was really lucky. I got let go from that basketball when the CEOs changed over, and then I was like, oh, lucky I got, because now I can go and get my registration. And now I'm a registered teacher, and I love it though. It's funny, like I love it because I love the kids, like they're just awesome, but everything that comes with it is tough, man. Like
I can only imagine. And what was the age group of the kids that you?
So I have intermediate kids, so 7 and 8. So they're not really, they're not. They are teenagers, some of them, but they're not fully teenagers yet, but they're not kids anymore, so it's right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
That's great though.
It's
I can roast the shit out of them, and they roast me back, and it's fun. We just go at it. They go at me, man, and I'm like, come on, then let's go.
No holds barred, and like kids at that age, bro, they don't care, bro.
Yeah, and the other thing, they don't tell their parents. Like if you go too far and you apologize, please don't tell your mom. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I thought we were joking here, but nah, I'm only jokes. My principal's watching. I'm only joking.
That's the. Would you say it's harder to teach younger kids or like the teens? What do you reckon?
It really depends, and I know this is going to be a cop-out, but it depends on the teacher, and it depends on how you're wired as a person, bro. Like, see, I'm wired a lot like, you guys here at CKB, it's a family thing. We all help each other, and we come together as a crew, right? Whereas the other teachers that are like, it's me against the world. This is my class. Like, I don't care. Like, and I spend a lot of time teaching compassion in my class more than anything. I teach kids in my class how to be compassionate and how to feel for others and how to understand that your story might not be like somebody else's story, but you still have to understand who they are as people. And that's probably the best work that I've done. Like probably in last year, more than any, I had a group of kids that were just all around helping and without any prompting. Like, yeah.
That's character, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you don't learn that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you don't. And also, bro, like when you go to a job interview, bro, they really don't give a fuck how good you are at maths, bro. Like, they don't give a fuck about your handwriting. Like, really, like how many times have you been to a job interview and they're like, yo, write this out. We're going to evaluate your handwriting. Like, nah, bro, it's who you are as a person and do you work hard? And are you a good person? And yeah, it just pisses me off. There's so many teachers out there that are so fixated on little things like times tables and don't get me wrong, there's places for that. But like, we should be teaching. We really should be teaching kids around, important things. Like
and like it's interesting you said that. Like especially in Asia, for example, like they're really hard on like the results. Top, and you have Asian parents wanting their kids to be like top 5% or top 2 or top in the class. So, they're so infatuated with the results, bro. But like, is your kid really learning like life lessons and like, building character and like that sort of stuff? And like,
man, I'll use an example of a kid that I had. Like would break down, like the smartest kid in the world, bro. Like we're talking like he was year 7 doing year 13 maths. Like he was one of the smartest kids in the world, bro, in our class. And the kid just would, like, any little failure, he'd cry. Like he'd be like, fuck, like he'd get like, we'd play a game, we'd play sport, and his team would lose, he'd cry. Like, or like, and he'd just break down, like, and I'm talking crying, like I'm talking like
full on
hard, like, and then, bro, I spent that whole year just drilling it into him that it's okay to fail, man. Failure is great. We need to embrace failure, because if we don't fail, we don't know if we're doing good or bad. It's like having rain and having sun. Like, if it's sunny all the time, we're going to be in a drought. And if it's raining all the time, we're going to be flooded. So we need to be able to balance it. I spent that whole year sorting him out. And then, bro, like, just seeing him grow as a person. And then his father passed away, bro, in his year 8, right? Oh. And, seeing him take these tools that I helped him with, taking those tools and, putting it to the hardest failure of all, bro, like the hardest loss of anything, that's like losing my parent, like, and take it and watching him just be like, you know what, Mr. Provise, that's not really my name, but that's Matua Tim said, like, like he taught me that, like, and he even said that to me. He wrote it down. He said, Mister, like, you taught me that it's okay to lose, and everything we lose, we learn. And I'm like, bro, you're the man, G, like, straight. And yeah, that moment there, bro, was more important than his flipping math results or his anything, And he turned out to be one of the coolest cats out, because he just knows that, all that stuff doesn't mean nothing. Like, you could be the smartest kid in the world, but if you can't hang out with this kid, or if you go to high school and you don't know how to make friends, then we're all in the shit, Yeah,
you're gonna struggle, man. You didn't really take away anything from it. And like, I think, I shared this story with you, that I did like relief teaching for a while.
Yeah.
And there was a period in time where when I finished my studies, I actually considered going down the path of teaching, bro. And like I thought about it for a good wee while, and then I was like, in the end, I didn't want to go down that path. Firstly, it was money reasons, because it's not a lot of money from where I was. I was like, I was like, I just wanted to make the big bucks, So I was like, screw that. And then the other one as well that really got to me was, because as a student, bro, I was a naughty kid, man.
Yep.
I was like worst of the worst, bro. They hated me, bro. Yeah. Everybody fucking hated me. So like, I used to give so much shit to all the teachers, bro. And and one of my in the back of my mind is like, bro, if I'm gonna be, I was like, bro, it's gonna come back.
Karma's coming to you, brother.
I was like, bro, it's gonna bite me in the ass. I was like, man, better not go down that path, man.
Bro.
But bro, I think like talking about making an impact on a student's or a life, bro. A kid's life. I had 2, like, from my whole time studying, I had 2 teachers that taught me a lot of lessons in life, bro.
Yo.
And like, when everybody else was like, man, this kid's, we're not gonna waste our time with him. We're not even gonna try. Because I was at that stage, bro. Like, just, I wasn't listening to anybody. I just did whatever I want, And like, these 2 fellas, like, they were not like full on. One was actually like the discipline master of the school. Yeah. So he's like, he has to be like pretty full on. But they taught me like a lot of lessons, bro, that, you wouldn't have learned anywhere else.
Oh, yeah, bro.
And just not I think one of the other ones, like, not giving up on you as well.
Yeah.
And just being with you, because obviously, you know, when you study psychology and all that, like, things happen because there are other things that happen around you and like all that other things. So they knew, they saw it, and what I appreciated about like them, and like closer to the end, I decided to change my ways and stuff like that, was because they were persistent, bro. And like, I was a very persistent kid as well, but I was going down the wrong path, you know, and like getting in trouble. So they didn't give up on me, bro. And like, you know, just understanding and just relating to my situation as well, like, I appreciated that, bro. And then in the end, I kind of took like all these lessons of whatever I've learned.
Yeah, and those stories, everybody has those stories.
Exactly,
you know,
man.
some teacher that, I don't want to say every kid, but every naughty kid, like I was the naughtiest of the naughty, bro. But like, we always had like somebody that, and you always remember those people. And I wanted to be that. As a teacher, I wanted to be that person. Like, I wanted to be that one that were like, yeah, no, I learned this because Mister taught me that, you know, this and this, and yeah, you're right. Like, there's not a lot of money in it compared to other jobs. But yeah, it's really that satisfaction. I mean,
exactly, man. That satisfaction is big, bro. That's a big one.
And if that's what you're about trying to change young people's lives. I mean, bro, like another part of me was like, I think probably the biggest thing that grew me in terms of being an educator and being somebody like that was like, I spent like 5 years of my life working for Child Youth and Family. So I was in the residence. So I was in like lockup, bro, for like the hardest kids in New Zealand. That shit, bro, that fucking humbled me big time, bro. I was like 20, bro, like going out to the clubs every night, like just, bro, that was me, G. I was like on all types of bullshit. And then, bro, I got a job. My mom actually got me a job. Then she said, you need to settle down. Here's a job. It's at the boys' home. And, bro, like, fuck, jeez, like, that made me go, holy shit, the world isn't what I thought it was.
Bro, it's different, man.
Yeah, man,
it's different. Yeah, it's a whole different breed of kids and youngsters with a lot of problems.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. But yeah, bro, like that taught me a lot. That taught me around behavior management, how to de-escalate situations using words, how to not, you know, how to understand body language. You know, like I learned a lot there in my 5 years.
Yeah, what was funny was the podcast I listened to, the one you did with John Campbell, and you guys were talking about caning and public caning and that sort of shit, bro. And I was when I was listening to that, I was laughing, bro. You want to know the reason why I was laughing, bro?
Tell me, brother.
Because in Asia, bro, like that's just a norm, bro. So when I was listening to that, man, look at this. There's a privilege, man.
He's privileged white men.
Bro, it happens like it's a part of like the school life when we were growing up, bro. It was just normal, bro. Like that was just a thing. And
crazy.
There was one where, you know, that you talk about like getting caned in the, you know.
I never got caned. I was too young for that. I was too young. He got caned.
Yeah, getting caned like in front of the class and stuff like that, bro. I got caned in front of the whole damn school, bro.
Bro, you must have been that kid.
Oh, my ass, bro. You know what I mean? Like, bend over and get caned. And I talked a little bit about this on...
Bro, hold up. Did everyone... Like, you did it in front of the school, bro. Did everyone laugh, G?
Bro, no, everybody was just quiet, bro.
Fuck, I would be laughing my ass off. I don't even care who you are,
you know what was funny? I was laughing, bro.
That would have made them go even harder, G. That would have made them, what the fuck?
Bro, and everybody was like, you know, that was what that was like. Bro, I wasn't naughty because I was just laughing, and I was just laughing it off because okay, I'm not gonna lie, it just hurt a little bit, but it's not like it's fucking, you know, it's not like
a cut or
cuts your ass or shit like that, man. And I'm like, everybody is like all scared and quiet.
Bro,
and bro,
did they have to pull your pants down?
Nah, they didn't pull our pants down. So they put like a book, bro. They put like a book down like the back so it doesn't hit your spine.
Oh, okay, I get you.
So in case they miss, it doesn't hit your spine, bro. So I was like, yeah, put the book, whatever. Just check it there. And I think first it was the book, and then they had the strap. So it was like the waist strap thing. And then and I was like, yeah, put it on, man. I was like, yeah, go ahead, came in. And I was like, and like I was that was the thing. I was laughing, bro. So
I would have been doing the same.
And bro, everybody was like, what I wanted to do, because when I was younger, I experienced it on the other side. I was sitting down and I was looking at that, bro. People were getting caned and like, everybody was like, bro, what they're trying to do really is to instill that fear, bro.
Other people, yeah.
Instill that fear. And when it, like, I mean, is this not the best example? I do not encourage anybody to do this. But like when it came to my turn, I wanted to show that there's nothing to be afraid about, man.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it, bro. And like, I don't want like people make it seem like fuck it hurts, like hell, and I'm just gonna keep quiet and look all serious. And I was like, bro, this is exactly why they were pissed with me, bro. You know what I mean? They were pissed, bro. And like,
especially if it was a laugh like
they were pissed, man. And like that's the thing, you know, they I don't know, like they had the idea at first it was weird, you know, when the first time it happened to me or whatever, like it was weird. But then after that, like, bro, this for me, I just work in a different way, bro. When they keep pushing on you, the more I'll start to, you know,
push back, right?
You don't push me to corner, you know what I mean? And I think they did that for a while, and then I don't know. I think there was some complaints or whatever. I don't know what it was, and then they did it like a private caning thing, and I was like, yeah, okay, you do something wrong or whatever, and it's stupid, bro. Like, you know, small little things or whatever. Like, you know, okay, yeah, you're gonna, you know, we call your parents or whatever. And at first, like, you know, I got a bit of shit from my mom and dad, you know, but my dad was pretty cool. He was pretty chilled, you know, so he kind of understood, like, you're in that phase, you're growing up, you know, and he knew what it was. But my mom was like, you know, always, at first she was like going off at me and whatever. But then after a while, she just didn't care, bro.
She was like, fuck.
So the more, bro, like, I was like,
not again,
bro. And like, when they was like, oh, we're gonna, you know, give you the caning or whatever, this, that, whatnot. I was like, oh, we're gonna call your parents. I said, yeah, sweet. Phone's over there. Go ahead.
What a tough guy,
bro.
Man.
After a while, they just gave up, bro. Like we just cane you and give you a form, and then you can give because you gotta get your parents to sign, bro.
Oh,
that's how they.
They can give you a whack,
bro. And then you know what I did? I just fucking signed it myself, bro.
Yeah, and just hook it up.
There you go.
Whack me. Whack me, G. I got this.
But
maybe that's a fetish thing, bro. Maybe you're into that kind of shit. maybe have you ever thought about that, G? Have you ever thought about that?
Bro, definitely
bro, I'm
not.
just saying, bro. Like 95% of the school, like, oh,
maybe, man. I don't know, bro. But I think that was
chains and whips and shit.
You know, teachers that, you know, that kind of spoke to me or gave me advice and stuff like that. But closer to the end, I was like I was on a streak, bro.
Yo.
I was on a streak, so like, you know, I was just doing all sorts of shit and all that. And one thing that for me, bro, I was very big into like the boys. You know, the boys were my everything. You know, like they were the people, you know, I see like most of the time, every day, bro. You know what I mean? And they meant a lot to me. And I was like, I would say I was maybe, you know, I was gifted, so I didn't have to study as much to do really well. So, but my mates weren't. And when I was doing all that shit and whatnot, like they dropped me to like a different class, a different like grade, you know, they have that grading system thing. And so like I was in a class where a lot of my mates were like struggling with studying and getting good results and stuff like that. And I was, you know, I was loyal. I had like a group of very loyal boys, you know, like we get to like all sorts of shit together.
Yeah.
So when I was going down that path and like, you know, doing all sorts of shit, I brought this they do it with me, bro, you know. And one of my this teacher, Mr. Joseph's his name, and shout out to Mr. Joseph.
Shout out to you, Mr. Joseph.
If he's ever watching this, he's not following me on Instagram or whatever, but I might actually find him and hit him up.
Come on, Mr. Joseph, come on.
But one of the things that he said to me that really hit me was, bro, like he told me like, look, not everybody is as gifted as yourself, who doesn't need to study and still can get good results and pass and this and whatnot. But you leading all your boys on a very dangerous path that they might not come back from.
Yeah.
And their results are suffering, like their families are, you know, getting disappointed with them. And like, you have to understand that you are the guy who's starting all this.
Yeah.
Like you're the fire starter and you're bringing this whole group of boys with you. And the people who suffer the most is them.
Yeah.
And bro, that hit me hard, man.
That's good that you had the metacognitive kind of agreement. You could cut that down into, you know, because at that age, bro, when the older you are, bro, the younger you are, you don't think about anything else but yourself.
Exactly, man.
And when you're a little bit more kind of clicked on, and you can go, you know what, like, he's got a good point. Then that's when you start learning and growing. And
exactly, and
that's choice, bro.
Yeah, when that hit me, and I took a while to like think about that, process all of that, and that was when I realized, bro, the best way and the only way was to take myself out of the equation, bro.
Yep.
So I quit, bro. I quit the school.
Wow.
I quit the school, bro. But the thing was, like, because I was on that track, and like it wasn't an easy option to tell my parents. And like, I don't know, maybe I felt in a way like they were quite close to expelling me, bro.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
they were fucking quite close to kicking me out. And but I went out not because they were gonna kick me out, but was because of that was one of the biggest reasons.
Yeah.
I've never really told anybody this before.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Great.
But so I told my parents and broke the news to them, and I said, like, I want to leave, and they were worried, bro, like, because they didn't know what I was gonna do. But I said, look, I'm actually really good just studying on my own. I don't need help from anybody else. Like, I wanna quit, and I want to do something else, and then I'm gonna go do my private, and just do it myself. Like, it's sort of like homeschooling, but you just take it as a private candidate. And I was like, I'm gonna do that, and I left, bro. I left, and it was one of the I would say, man, it was hard for me, bro.
Yeah.
Because they are boys, when you have your boys,
bro,
you're like,
hard.
leaving your boys, it's not easy, bro. And but yeah, I think like a year or two later when I came back and I had a chat, and like, they were actually doing good, bro. Like, the boys, they're doing good. So fuck, it turned out to be a good thing altogether. And I mean, that's the thing, like, with all these experiences, it makes you who you are. If you don't experience it, you don't learn a lot of things, eh?
Yeah, and exactly, that's the best teacher is experience. And bro, that's choice, bro. That was mean.
Yeah, brother. It's like I think, like, that's the other one. Like, earlier on in life, bro, I experienced a lot of things. I went through a lot of things, bro, and I felt like it kind of builds you.
Oh yeah, bro, no doubt. Like,
to who you are, today, kind of thing. It's hard sometimes. Like, you see some people who they've had a very cushioned childhood, teenage life, and then when they get to adulthood, bro, like, they struggle.
Yeah.
And like,
bro, I see it every day, man. Like, I see kids that are privileged and have had, things that others don't, and just easing through things. And then I see the opposite of that. I see kids that have really kind of like had it hard, but still push through and do a great job. So, and it's really around guiding kids and putting them in their place, like putting them in places they can succeed. And I think that's what, like, you did for yourself,
Exactly, man. And I think, like, that's one thing I feel that's kind of lacking is in the education system that there is now, like, they don't really put you in places for you to, like,
oh man, like, this, I could go on and on about the education system, bro. Like, I think it needs a massive overhaul in terms of what we're preaching and what we're trying to accomplish, especially around our partnership with the Treaty of Waitangi, and how we are, what are we doing to, respect the treaty, especially in, like, making Te Reo Māori compulsory in schools is going to be, if they do that, it's going to be cool, but who's going to teach these? Who's really going to be the teachers? Like, you have teachers that are 60, 70 years old, so systematically, I don't want to say racist, but like, the system has made them that. Like,
exactly,
it's not that they don't.
It's not their fault.
Yeah, they've just been in the system, and the system have told them this is what it is, and they believe that so much because 40 years of doing that, and like, to just flip that on its head. Excuse me, flip that on its head and go, now you need to speak, you need to be able to teach Māori every day at school. I think it's a good step in the right direction, but I've been talking with a lot of people to try and come up with some content around what actually is happening in schools in terms of
the reality on the ground,
and respecting the treaty, and in respecting other cultures, and respecting our Pacifica people, our people from Asia, our people from everywhere, and also what do these kids need to know in 2030, 2040, 2050? And like I said, bro, when's the last time, and I say this all the time, like, when's the last time you wrote actually a letter? Like, wrote a letter with your hands? Like, fuck, bro, I wonder, I'd love to ask the post office, because I do not see it's all email, it's all messenger.
Everything's digital now.
Everything. And but why aren't we going in on that? Like, why are we not going, cool, okay, I get it, kids need to be able to read and write, but like, you know, like, can we do that in a way that is that will help these kids in 2050, 2060, you know? So yeah, I think I've been in talks with some people around trying to do a show around that.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so it's, you know, like, around kind of building something that we can go, okay, what is the curriculum going to look like, and what should it look like to get these kids ready for when they become adults in 2060, you know? Yeah. So, but what does that involve? That's the other thing. Like things like for jobs that haven't even been created yet, like, you know, like coding and learning different algorithms and languages, like, you know, C# and HTML and stuff like that.
All those sort of stuff you've got to learn. Like, that's the thing. Like, you have to actually venture out. Yeah. And then, like, you have to find out for yourself, and then.
But I mean, like, look at this. Like this stuff is the future. Like this podcast, like editing this video, like, you know, using the video, clipping out little things and putting them on socials. Like that is where it's kind of going.
Yeah.
And that's way more important than being able to link your A to your L, and, you know, in handwriting class.
Or trigonometry, bro.
Yeah. Nah, there's something like trigonometry. You could kind of. You could
use it in places, bro.
The Pythagoras theorem is.
Bro. I was a maths kid, bro. I was always a maths kid. It was a maths one, I think, bro. It was my favorite, man. That was like everything and anything that I wanted to do was just maths. I didn't want to do anything else. Maths was my thing, bro. But hey, anyway, Tim, I want to ask you. We've come to the section now. Wise words from the wise man.
Oosh.
Yes. So if you have any advice, word to say to people watching, listening.
Oh, okay. Man, I didn't even know that. I reckon, man. And I know this is going to come off really simplistic and like thing, but just execute. Like, stop fucking talking and just execute. Like, do shit. Stop talking about shit. I get so many people saying, oh, you should do this, you should do that. Why don't you do it? Like, we should all just do stuff. That's why I got mad love for you, G, because you came out here, you're like, yo, I'm getting this podcast doing, I'm doing it. Stop. And if you are those people that have those ideas and you're like, I've got a great idea, just do it, man. Like, yeah, it's just this year, last year, bro, it's just too much excuses. Like, but I think if more people just got out or learned stuff, we're so lucky we've got the University of YouTube, bro. Straight up, there's so much internet information there. Like, go out if you want to do a podcast. If you watch the bakery run, I want to do a chicken one. Like, I want to do a fucking chip one. Go and do it, man. Like, I'm very lucky I got Will, but like, you can find somebody like that.
Bro, if you don't find someone as well, you probably could learn on yourself.
Do it yourself, you know, or train someone up, talk to somebody. But just work, execute, and work. That's it. And
it's a grind.
And here's another one that I wanted to say too, bro. And I said this on at the end of the last year. It's just be your biggest fan, bro. Like, enjoy your own work. Like, it's okay to sit back and go, yeah, I did a good job on that. Like, you know, I think we have this culture where it's not okay to do that. It's fucking mean that you can sit back and you can go, you know what, man? Yeah, I did a mean job on that, and don't feel guilty about it. Like, you know, I think if we can do those two things in New Zealand, like, things would be so much easier. Like, yeah, I mean, our
changing that mindset, you know, that was like instilled, you know, from the older generation. Right. You know,
it's crazy. But yeah, nobody props themselves up anymore, you know, and it's okay. And I come from a very humble background where my mom would never like speak like, oh, yeah, he's doing a good job. But I recognize, man, I think it came from listening to rap and watching wrestling, bro. Yeah, like, just work, man. Like, yeah, that's enough. Like, enough of being shamed about your own work ethic. Like, fuck that.
Yeah, you gotta be proud of who you are, you know, and like,
yeah. And the people that give you shit for that, bro, exit them, bro. Like, fuck them. They can fuck off. Like, I've had heaps of people switching from Twitch to podcasting. Bro, heaps of people just jumped off the bandwagon. And I'm like, cool, like this is just not your shit. But don't act like I'm your boy if I blow up. You know, like don't come at me and be like, hey, bro.
This is the problem. A lot of people have that culture. They'll put you down when you're on the rise, but when you're up there,
oh, bro, they're all about it.
We're mates. We're bros.
Bro, here's a fucking funny story, bro. I put that Joseph Parker video out 2 days before my birthday, right? It just ended that way. And I think I've said this on my podcast. I've never had more people say happy birthday to me in my life. Everyone, happy birthday, bro. Fuck a mean video, bro. I always knew you would do it. I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah,
like,
keep that same energy,
yeah,
man.
where were you last year? Like, when I had nothing on. Like, you know, it was the same fucking day. Like, I didn't hear anything from you. I had so many people. And even now, like, and don't get me wrong, bro. I love those people. They're all goods. But and they watch the content. I get it. But, bro, don't be all like, yeah, it's and this is the thing. Is like
suddenly change the whole vibe.
And I get like, and bro, people are really fickle, bro. Like, you know, when you're on, they love you. When you're off, it's like, nah, gee, like, yeah. And that's why and that's really why I wanted to get off Twitch more than anything, is because it was very, very fickle. Like, you'd have 60 people watching you one day, and then 12 the next, or 4 the next, you know. And
did you record them and then put them out on, or not previously? It was just streaming.
What do you mean?
Like, was it recorded and then put out?
No, everything's live streamed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everything. All my parties are live streamed.
The old before
the
you
old
actually
ones
put it,
too. Yep, just straight Zoom meeting, chuck the square into the OBS, and away we went. And yeah. So, but nah, it's really funny. But like, yeah, I'm looking at moving everything over. Like I see Izzy, because I've got a Patreon too. And you know, like seeing Izzy do the OnlyFans, because it's pretty much the same thing, but a little bit. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, it's okay to do that, you know?
It's completely fine, man. And then like, that's the thing. There are a lot of other bigger channels, podcast channels, and they're on Patreon. They have like, I think there's a few different ones as well.
There's that coffee one.
Yeah, there was this guy, Dean Schneider. He's that guy who takes videos with like the lions and tigers in South Africa. Yeah. I'll show you some videos. It's pretty crazy, bro. But he recently did the transition into putting certain exclusive stuff on like a paid platform, and he was like he had like millions of followers, bro, and he was getting shit for it. And I was like, man, if you don't want it, don't give him shit, man. Yeah. If you want to see it, fucking pay for it. Go watch it, man.
And it's not like millions. It's not like hundreds of dollars. Bro, we pay like $20 for Netflix,
bro.
Like, what's $2.50? Like, holla, you know, like if you can't, like, and it's funny, like, so the Patreon thing, right?
Bro, funny one. It costs $5. You could make your coffee at home. You go up to the shop and buy your $5-6 coffee now, and you're complaining about giving. For yours, I think you did was like, was it $2.50?
$2.50, right?
And I was like, you're complaining about, you know.
But here's the thing: is like, I'll do like a meetup, right? People are shouting me drinks and they're like $8. I'm like, bro, you could have just done this. Is $8. This is 3 months worth of the Patreon. Like, you know, like, yeah. So it's funny though. But hey, shout outs to everybody that does support.
You have quite a few people supporting you on your Patreon now.
50, I think.
50 over people. Yeah. That's quite a bit, man.
I had 80 at one point when I first was going off, and I was like, okay. And that's when I was like, yo, I'll get those Shure mics, man. Yeah. Like I can afford them. And then I got sponsored from Blue Yeti, so I had to use their stuff.
Ooh, that's pretty cool. How's the Blue Yeti stuff, bro?
It's good. It's USB, so
easy.
I just plug it into the camera, and I
easy
mean,
to use.
Nothing like this though, like nothing clear. But I mean, it's okay. Like, yeah, it's all right. It's not, so.
Definitely, sure. The Shure microphones are definitely like the top of the line. Every podcaster. Ooh, what was that?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
That's my ride.
Last one, brother. Before we go, what are some of your immediate future plans, bro? What are some of the stuff in the works right now?
So, bro, great question.
Give us a bit of an intro.
All right, so I've got a show coming out. Yeah, I've got a show coming out in February called The Shack.
The Shack.
Yeah, The Shack is it's an interview show shot in a garage. With my good friend Justin Norms Regan. So that we're leading up to a pilot. We've shot a pilot for it. We're leading up into getting money for it, funding. I've got that coming out. I've got a new show called Neighborhoods coming out, which is like an extended version of the bakery run. So we go and we really get into people's backstories around how they started and things like that. And then I've got season 3 coming out for the podcast. We've got some really cool guests coming on. That's already been lined up. I know there's something else that I've got that I'm missing out on, but the shack is gonna be great. It's like the podcast turned up to 12. But it's live, and things happen during the podcast that it's kind of like a mockumentary of a podcast. So it's really cool. It's really funny. We've got a couple of guests lined up, but the thing is like we need guests that are really kind of white, and that we put them in situations where they've probably never been before, So that's there. And we're starting. And then Bakery Run, we've finished season 3. Season 4's in Wellington. We're going down in April, and then we're going to start fundraising for Bakery Runs in Japan. So that would be probably
all the way in Japan.
We're going to start fundraising for it, and then 2022, if the borders open up, hopefully, 2022. So just and then stand up. Like I'm looking at that's what I'm start. So I'm starting my journey from stand up at the end of this month, and then just working.
Where's that gonna be, bro? Where can we?
At the Classic in town.
Okay.
On the 23rd, I'll be just there just to give it a try.
On the 23rd
of January.
Yeah. And what time would that be?
I think it's 10 o'clock at night time. It's pretty late.
Yeah, I'll be there, brother.
Oh, my G, I got you. Yo, you better laugh, G, because fuck, I'm gonna need you. But yeah, and then that's gonna lead up into. I'm hoping to do like a little gathering, a special kind of like. So if I can put 45 minutes to an hour together, and I've got good people around me to help me, and that's just like I said, it's to improve myself and that, and then hopefully getting some TV time and some radio time as well.
Definitely, man.
Yeah, brother.
Bro, I'm like I said, man. I said it just now, and I'm gonna say it again. Like at the rate you're going, and the discipline, the consistency, and like all the content that you're pushing out. I'm pretty sure you'll get there, man. It's just a matter of time now. Yeah. And definitely, bro, I'm definitely looking forward to all this really cool stuff that you're going to put out.
I think that's probably the best compliment like you could give somebody that's working hard is that it's just, bro, I respect your consistency and I respect your hustle. And, like I said that to you multiple times over the DMs. Like, I see you, bro. I do see you, like, working so hard, and it makes me work harder, too, because I'm like, I got to keep up.
You just feed off each other.
Bro, and then all of a sudden, we're on. So, but you know me, bro. I'll be pushing your shit out, and just thank you, brother. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for your time, Tim. Bro, that's us. Awesome. Thank you, brother. All right, guys, that wraps it. If you stayed all the way here, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you for watching this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. I'll see you on the next one.